I'm walking around here, and of course, lo and behold, look who I find. Run into the one and only Devil Z, Dean Moslow. He's out here running today at FL2K in what, the streetcar class. So there's what, 4 classes you said, and they cut it down into 64 cars, 16 cars each, right? So which class do you think you're gonna end up in today?
Right now I'm in the class 3 and I'm the number 2 qualifier.
So what would you say is the fastest car in that class right now? What are they running?
He went at 863.
Damn.
And I went at I think like an 867, letting out early.
Oh, they typically get faster as they go on, correct?
Yeah, they do.
At least by a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just they're going to make that breakout whatever a 10th faster than that guy is, so maybe 853. So if you go faster than that, even if you win, you get booted.
Okay guys, I got to interrupt this video really quickly because we have a sale going on the website right now through the end of November. Everything on the website is 15% off. You can head on over to billybuilds.com and get yourself some Z32 shirts. I got hoodies, I got phone cases, I got other shirts too. It's not just Z32 stuff, we also have Supra stuff. Use the code DEVILZ through the end of November for 15% off. I'll put the link down in the description below with the discount code. Also, if you want to head on over to moslowmotorsports.com, get yourself some Devil Z stuff. Gotta support my boy Dean. This guy's been awesome. He's been a huge help to the Z32, VG30 community over the years, and he's really pushed the platform. So head on over to Devil Z, moslowmotorsports.com. I'll put the link down in the description below for that, and don't forget to check out my website as well. Let's get back to this video. So give me the rundown here. What exactly are we looking at? What are the specs of the build today?
So this motor has the Aries 9-to-1 pistons, Molnar rods, the Mazworks billet mains. It's got Darton sleeves done by Maximum Machine Works in Longwood, Florida. Okay. It's got a Pulsar 7682, Bosch 210 injectors. Right now it's actually on E112 from Renegade. I'm just trying it. It's a E85 Q16 mix, so they call it E112.
It's a little bit more consistent, I assume?
Yeah, usually on hot days and quarter mile. Now that I'm pushing it kind of far, I like to use a good fuel.
Nice. And you were telling me yesterday also about the studs you were using. Yeah. So he's not using ARP 2000 studs like what's readily available on the market. You're using with a 625, right?
Yeah. So I had the 2000s and I never really had issues. I just tried different gaskets and I thought it was a head stud, so I went to L19s and
it definitely wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, and it didn't have any issues then either. But I also went back to the Malley OEM gaskets because we had figured out, Nevo helped me figure out the Malley part number for it.
Right.
And I'd already ordered the 625s because Brett Dimsey did like a group buy with ARP, so there's like 10 of us that got.
So you're actually using the factory head gaskets right now in this setup, dude. That's freaking awesome.
I've actually never hurt a factory gasket and I've cracked like 4 bores, so it's like that. Even with the L19s, this is the first time I had 620 side. So the L19s and the OEM head gaskets will hold more than the cylinder bores themselves. It's crazy. It's kind of what I've learned.
And that's like no fire ring, no special O-ring head or nothing.
Copper spray on the OEM gaskets and the head studs.
That's awesome. That's the same thing I'm running, so that makes me feel a little bit better about my setup.
I just feel like it kind of has to with the graphite because the fire ring is nice, and you know we tried the copper ones, and it kept oblogging the fire ring. I guess because it wasn't a stainless. It was a so it wouldn't be a circle anymore. It would actually oblong the fire ring and get into the coolant ports.
So the heads and cams that you're running are what?
JWT 500 hydraulic.
Okay. Are you still on hydraulic lifters too?
Yeah.
Dang.
So hydraulic lifters, the Jim Wolf springs, Ferrara oversized valves. The heads are ported by Shea Floyd.
Would you say it was a pretty heavy port job, or? Yeah.
So they were technically my other heads were ported, but I guess he must have just lightly done it because when Shea did them, it picked up 4 mile an hour with his port job.
Wow. And you're what, 1mm oversized valves too, right?
Yeah, that was with everything the same, the oversized valves and all with the other heads versus his ported heads.
Okay.
And then now he's done these heads, and then I have a backup set heads that he's working on now. And then I dropped off another block to Maximum Machine Works to get that one sleeved, so I'll have a whole complete long block ready.
Hell yeah. Dude, I gotta bring one of my blocks up there, get a second motor going, because like
I've always tried.
I'd rather be reliable than push what I got to like the edge of the limit. This is a fresh build for you, right? Like this is the first time you've had like all 6 cylinders sleeved on a motor, correct?
Yeah.
How's that working out?
It's doing good. I've been to the track 3 times, or maybe 4 times with this motor. Yeah. And it's been 8 1s a couple times pulling the chute early.
You've broken 1,000 horsepower before on your old motor, right?
Yeah.
And so what was the bottom end specs of that motor?
It was actually, everything was identical besides the sleeves.
The sleeves. Oh, so literally Mazworks mains, same rods and pistons, just no sleeve, bottom end or nothing.
Yeah, so everything else was the same. And it made 1,085 and was running 829s with that. So
Holy
it might
crap.
be sitting like high 1,100 right now, almost 1,200.
And what kind of boost are you pushing through it?
Actually right now it's 40 pounds and a 75 shot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, on 40 pounds alone, it'll do 8.2s, but a little bit of spray took it into the 8.1, maybe 8.0 range when I stay in it.
So I was gonna say, are you using the spray all the way through the track or just the spool off the line?
All the way through. But when I had it on boost and it went 8.2s, that was with the 101 AR. So then I went to the 128 AR, and it did go slower on boost, but with nitrous it's faster. So I actually ordered a 144 AR, and I might need a little more boost to keep the exhaust wheel speed up and stuff.
Okay.
And maybe I can I think it'll go 7 even the way it is, but I just wanted to, I can't help but keep going.
Right. And you're on a Turbo 400 too, right?
Yeah,
so who built the Turbo 400?
A guy named Jerry Waller.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in our local town, and he's built it over the years, and I've kind of just built it of what I needed. So as stuff breaks, we upgrade it. Actually, when it started the other motor, I think it was the forward drum cracked and something else. Oh yeah, and the direct drum so we have a direct drum with a Vasco shaft and a Sonax upgraded forward drum too. And it already had valve body and a 36 element Pro Mod drum and all that. So it's all built to the gills.
But that your last, just if I remember that last Turbo 400 you had, that lasted a number of years. It wasn't like a 1 year thing. Like you were running that low 9s, high 8s for what, 3-4 years probably?
Yeah. He had, and that's about what he said. He said the only reason we even had to go with a Pro Mod drum is because I rev a little higher than what a typical 34 element 480 drum like.
What do you rev to?
85 right now.
Holy crap. So 8,500 on the old VG30. Yeah. That's awesome.
So I shipped at 85 and it drops to 77. So it's always in that range between 77 and 85.
What's your oil pressure light at that RPM?
It's about 100. It actually I have it shimmed.
Okay.
And usually about 4,500, it gets to about 100 and then it just stays there. Jeez. From 45 all the way to 85. Now I've gone up to 88 when I had the 410s and it would start to bounce around up there. Right. So I put 390s in it to kind of keep it around 85 because it seemed like past 85 I started to get some fluctuation. Because
it's a what, a 370Z rear end?
It's actually a 488 IRS rear end now.
Oh, really?
Out of an Explorer. Oh. And then it's got the 370Z axles. Well, it had the 370Z axles because they're the same as the 300s, from Drive Shaft Shop. And when I did the 488, I guess it's a little bit fatter, so I had to get the stubs from Drive Shaft Shop, but it still used the same CV axle, so it wasn't that expensive since I just needed.
That's awesome. So it's just a little bit of a mix and match with the 370Z axles and 488 stuff. I'm gonna go check out Nick Maluso's here as well, right?
He is, yep.
So he switched over. Nick Maluso used to have the stock long block record. What did he run? He ran like an 896, I believe.
I think he actually went a 9.6.
Oh,
so
okay.
He did that big wheelie on 1320, and what's crazy is that single turbo kit is what I ended up with for the longest time. So it went on like 14 years, but stainless can only take so many heat cycles, so it started cracking. Right. But I actually got his old setup that he went a 9.6 with, and I was still twins then. That's when Oscar went at 893, and then I went at 891. And then I think Nick got down to like a 9091, but then he went LS, so now he's a 5.3 with an S480. Right.
Nick ended up going to the dark side, unfortunately, but we'll get him on here today. He's still out here. He's on stock suspension, is what he was telling me yesterday, which is freaking crazy. But he's struggling to keep it down now, so that's his limit right now.
Yeah, you can definitely see. We were talking about that yesterday in staging lane because we were actually pretty much right next to each other going up through for qualifying. I think that's his biggest issue with the stock front shocks. He has no way to stop it from traveling. So it's wanting to wheelie real bad.
That front end's just pushing it up.
Yeah, that's where like series drag racing, like the IDS coilevers come into play because you can slow the rebound down to where he doesn't want to completely tighten it down because he's afraid it won't hook. Right. But if he could just get the IDS ones, he could slow down how fast it wants to bring the front end up. Right. So it's not just so quick that the momentum just takes it way up.
Now, you had power tricks before too, right?
I did, and the power tricks did good. I mean, the only downside of those is their adjustment is for compression and rebound.
Okay.
Versus with these have two separate knobs, so you can how fast you want it to come up and how hard you want it to come down.
That's
so
pretty
like,
cool. That's pretty cool.
No prep, I'll have the rebound pretty loose, so it comes up easy, but then I have a lot of compression in it, so it kind of keeps it up. It doesn't want to come down as easy.
Okay.
These cars, at least in my experience, the stiffer the better.
Yeah.
On the back, for whatever reason, when it squats, it just fucks up the geometry, and you know, it kind of messes everything up. So with the power tricks, it'd probably be fine if somebody had power tricks rears and just got IDS fronts. But I got IDS all the way around.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, good luck today.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. All right, so this is a very unique FL2K. Not only is Dean here with his car, but we also have another special guest here, and you guys might have seen him from a previous TRC video where he also broke the, I believe it was the US VG30 lawn block record at one point in time. But anyways, I have here Nick Maluso, and this is his VG30, or sorry, previously VG30 powered. Now he's running an LS, but if memory serves me correct, you were one of the first ones to put the VG30 into the nines, right? Within the US?
With the stock long block, yeah.
It's completely stock motor, and that, how long ago was that now?
That was 2014, I think.
Jesus Christ. So what was it, like a
969 at 139.
Did you ever do anything faster than that? Because
it bent the rods like immediately afterwards. The tune was just a little aggressive in it. Bent the rods, put another stock motor in it, bent the rods again. Then I put a built motor in. I ended up going, I think 940s.
Jesus, okay.
940s at like 145, and then the girdle broke, threw rods through the block and everything, and the stock bottom end LS went in because I was so mad.
How long ago was that?
That was 2018.
2018. Okay. I think Dean ran what, a year or two later?
Yes. Somewhere around there. Yeah. At the time, Dean was just starting to ramp up on the VG stuff. Oscar was starting to get involved in it.
That's right. Yeah. Because what did Oster do? Oster ran a little bit quicker than yours then, right?
Yeah.
It was like 1 year after the next, I believe.
He went into 8s with stock motor.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Dean came through with what, a 890? Well, I don't know. They were both like 890s.
I believe Dean went first in the 8s.
Really?
With the stock motor, yeah, for sure. Jesus. And then they only got faster from there. I don't know what the actual stock VG time is now.
It's 890 something. I don't know. But they were both I believe turbo 400.
Yes.
And I think Oster has the record for the 5-speed as well, which was like a 960 or 970. But
and so this car used to have a 5-speed, and there's a reason there's a TH400.
yeah. Well, it makes sense if you spend any time drag racing and trying to be competitive with drag racing, that there's really. It may not be as fun as a 5-speed or 6-speed, but there's really only one answer to be competitive with drag racing, unfortunately. Affordably, yes. Affordably, yeah. You see these guys run 6-second quarter miles with their H-pattern cars, and you know they've got $30,000+ dumped into that drivetrain.
Like this one's been in the car for a few years now, you know, with no real issues. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. That's awesome. So give me a little bit of rundown here. What are we working with?
The motor it's a L33 stock bottom end, gap the rings. It just has head studs, head gaskets, cam, and then I built the turbo kit for it, and then it's on a S483 turbo.
Jesus. 483.
S483.
Wow. Okay.
Right now it's on about 26 pounds of boost.
Okay, so about how much power would you say? What, a 900-ish?
Yeah, between 900 and 1,000 probably. With the auto, it's kind of tough to gauge. It made on the dyno, it made 720 on 14 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
So,
okay. So yeah, you're probably right up.
Probably right
900 or so.
Yeah. I'd say the car's a little bit heavy. I kept AC and stuff with it.
That's cool.
And kept all the interior stuff like that.
That's awesome.
The car weighs like 30. Right under 3,300 pounds.
Right. Dang.
Not with me in it, just the car itself.
With AC though, yeah, keyword. AC. Dude, that's so, people don't understand that aren't from Florida. Like that is such a game changer to have AC in a car and run bottom nines like in Florida, especially in an import car. Like that's props to you,
Yeah,
man.
I can't not have AC anymore. It's just too hot.
Yeah, I hear you. So what LS swap conversion kit are you running in it? Did you make your own?
I did not. This is on an LOJ kit, both trans and engine mounts.
Nice. Well, that makes sense because it's all ready to go.
Yep.
Like,
and his oil pan as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
running his oil pan as well. Turbo kit and stuff is all one off.
That's right. Yeah, because you run your own. You want to plug your own fabrication?
I do. Yeah, I do kind of on the side now, but it's a Praxis fabrication.
Nice.
And yeah, so I do TIG welding, turbo kit, stuff like that.
Did you sell Dean his current turbo kit?
Not his current one. So I sold his buddy actually the single setup that came off this car after I built it for when I was doing the VG stuff. Because that VG, the 960 was with a single kit that I'd built in like college in 2009 that I was just, that's where I learned to weld, was actually on that single turbo kit.
That's awesome.
So I built that. I was just trying to run 10s with the car. Yeah. I actually didn't quite know what I was doing. I did it was a high compression motor, and this was back before 85 was really big with Z's and stuff.
Right.
And my plan was to run it on race gas 24/7, and I don't quite know what I was thinking.
That gets expensive quick.
Luckily, 85 came around and I was like, once I found that, I was like, this is awesome.
That was a high compression VG motor.
I think that might have been my issue. I stuck with the high compression even when I built the motor, and I think the high compression is pretty hard on the VGs because I know Dean dropped the compression down on his.
Yeah, he tried it.
They seem to live a lot longer.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy how that works because like you really want to make the power, like you think higher compression you'll make more power, but once you get into those higher boost numbers. Yeah, it'll definitely find the weak points.
But as far as his turbo kit stuff goes, he took my turbo kit off and had another one like fabbed up, similar location and stuff like that.
Okay.
But similar setup, but different kit though.
Nice. So real quick, what kind of times are you running tonight, and what kind of times have you ran? I guess the fastest on this current setup.
So the fastest it actually just did a pass of an 8.87 at 155, and that's the fastest this car's gone so far.
Stock bottom end LS.
Stock bottom end, yep. And prior to that, the fastest quarter mile it did was an 8.8888. And that was the first time I ran 8s with it, and I think it may have been the first like street chassis in the 8s at the time because that was 2018 that I did it.
And you're still on the stock twin turbo rear diff, stock rear axles.
Stock rear axles and all stock suspension.
Stock suspension too, yeah. So like if you've seen videos of like this Z likes to wheelie, and if you see it wheeling, that's the stock suspension trying to hold it down, and it's struggling around that 9.0 mark. So
yeah, once I can't really put too much more power in the launch without it just kind of pulling the wheels up. So it's a little bit of a trial and error to decide how aggressive I want to get versus having to let off the gas a little bit sometimes.
Now I don't remember if you said it or not. Are you spraying at all? No. Okay.
And that was one of the big reasons I kind of wanted to go to the V8 from the VG is just with the VG I ended up having to spray it as well, and that is a game changer. You can spool stuff real fast. But it adds another complex setup on it and stuff like that. And once I grenaded that built motor, I was like, man, I'm just gonna try this and see. And it's been nice having it in. It allowed me to get the car painted. The car it originally was white. I plastic dipped it green. Kind of regret doing that, but whatever.
No, it looks good.
It looked cool when I first did it. Plastic dipped it green, and then now it's been running reliably enough to where I was able to get it painted, do some stuff on the inside, and kind of cleaned up a little bit.
Now, wait, there was just something I just noticed here. Your radiator setup is where's your radiator setup? It's in the back. All right, can we take a look at that? That's pretty cool. Are these the coolant pipes? Oh yeah, those must be the coolant pipes coming off the motor there.
Around and then it runs back on.
Oh, and is it hardline all the way back?
It runs to here and then it's a soft one with like a end fitting.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and check out the radiator real quick. Sorry.
You're gonna have to look under the car.
Oh, okay.
There's no access to it from the top.
Really?
Yeah, it's completely separate.
Wait, so. Dude,
come on this side,
and you did enough airflow?
I just with the fans. You really need big fans when you run the rear radiator. But I can take this car on pretty much I've never had it overheat, so range-wise.
Dude.
If you look on this side though, you can actually see like it has an electric water pump on the radiator.
What kind of water? I mean, what brand?
Esri, I think is the.
Oh, dude, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's pretty badass though.
Yep.
Did you have to cut out your
I cut out
spare
the
tub?
spare tire tub.
Okay.
I cut that out, and then I put metal, like sheet metal over top and welded it.
Okay. So are you on a Haltech? I think I saw, correct?
Infinity.
Oh, you're on AEM Infinity. Wow. Okay. So have you played around with Haltech at all, or what do you think to that?
I have not used Haltech.
No. Like, once you go to Haltech, you won't go back.
I came from an AEM V1 on this originally, and that was a.
You get the extended crank every startup.
What to do with that? Pretty much people mostly use Holley, maybe Fuel Tech and stuff, but Holley's probably your #1 ECU for the LS.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thanks for showing me the car.
No
Good luck.
problem, man.
Be excited to see you guys face off at some point. Are you guys in the same class technically?
So we're in the same class. We're in 2 different brackets. So if we were to line up, it'd be in the finals. That's the only way I can race him. So
wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick though.
And he'd have the breakout too. So
yeah,
it would be kind of interesting.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
We'll see. I mean, I'm taking it one round at a time and just seeing how it does.
Hell yeah. Well, good luck, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm excited.